Hello, it's Peter Wright and Kathleen Beauvais with the weekly wrap-up on the Yakking Show for the week ending 28th of June 2024. The bad news is, of course, we've passed the longest day and we're heading down to shorter
No,
days.
don't say it. Don't say it.
But
Oh, yeah.
first, let's introduce co-host Kathleen. How are you doing, Kathleen?
I'm doing great, Peter, except, the reality is, yes, our days are now starting to get shorter. So I can't believe it.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. It's only something like 157 shopping days to Christmas. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, so I've got to tell you, Kathleen, we had a bit of, and tell our viewers, we had a bit of excitement in our part of the world. We had this wind come through. I don't know if it was a mini tornado or what. It took a huge spruce tree down in our yard, took our power line down, and missed all the buildings. I mean, if I'd wanted to cut it down, I could hardly have done it better myself. And lots of damage. Ingersoll,
Mm.
Burgessville. Even further up north, my friend from Harrison said they had some trees down up there. So it was quite, but you were okay down your part of the world, not as bad, huh?
We got quite a bit of wind, but nothing like what you're describing. Yeah,
Um,
it bypassed
we
us,
had
luckily.
hundreds of people without power for a couple of days. But anyway, it's we're okay, and most everybody else is all right. No injuries as far as I know, so we're very grateful for that. So let's get going. Do we have a cat tip today or not? We
I
normally
can
start
give
with a
you
cat
one.
tip.
Well,
Yeah, let's have a
for
cat
our
tip.
feline lovers out there, it says,
Yeah.
contrary to popular belief, cats were not worshipped as gods in ancient Egypt. They were held sacred and regarded as
Ah.
magical and divine creatures of the night that physically embodied feline deities and their attributes. So there you go.
Oh, so I always thought they were sort of treated as gods. But anyway, let's get on to what happened on the show this week. So on Tuesday, we had a delightful lady with a British accent from Florida, Shanna Rosenthal, hypnotist, and she spoke about using hypnotism to help you overcome trauma, weight loss, and improve your life. She was very good. That was Tuesday's one.
And you know what,
Who's
Peter?
coming up?
I have to
Sorry.
tell you, with
Yeah.
Shanna, I did go through the one of her hypnosis sessions, and I have to tell
Oh,
you,
did you really?
yes, I did, and it was so relaxing. Her voice, um, just draws you into this state, and it was lovely. And all I remember is about if you push your fingers together, because during the course of this hypnotic thing that she goes through, if you push your thumb and your forefinger together, it brings back the calm. And I don't know if I'm there yet, but I'm going to do it again. So it's,
Ah,
yeah,
that's interesting.
it's
That's
good.
interesting. Oh,
Mhm.
well done. Good, good. So, so to our audience, there you are. You can get, as Kathleen's just been telling you, a free episode, Introduction to Hypnosis. Who's coming next week? Next Tuesday will be Jill Sitnick, and she is talking about a fairly revolutionary new procedure using psychotherapy, and they use MDMA to, again, to overcome trauma and particularly to overcome PTSD. And that it's a little controversial because MDMA was illegal and it's now being recognized as a valid treatment for in the USA. I don't know if it's happening in any other parts of the world or in Canada yet. So she's been through the process and it's helped her a lot. And she talks about that process. So that's a good one coming up next week. The following week will be Tom Palladino, and he talks about scalar light energy. Fascinating subject, really is. I could go on for hours on what I picked up from that, but just you're going to need to watch that one or listen to that one to find out all about it. And then another interesting one in the following week will be Patrick Ayler's episode 318, talking about sex or pornography addiction, which is a relatively new phenomenon. He explains it's got a lot worse since the advent of the internet, but he talks about how it happens, what can be done about it, the consequences and problems associated with it. So if you have that problem or you know of someone, that's a really good episode to watch. So
Mhm.
that's it for the people coming up over the next few weeks. Kathleen, do you want to add anything on that?
Well,
Or can
yeah,
I?
yes. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Peter?
I want to talk about the book of the week in a minute,
Yes,
but
go ahead. Go ahead.
so our featured previous author this week will be DJ Kadagian, who was on episode 306, and he's coming back, I think, in a couple of weeks'
Oh,
time to talk
yes.
about
I can't
near
wait.
death near-death experiences, I think.
Mhm.
He's written a number of books. We featured a couple of them before, but the one I wanted to pick out today, for those of you with young children or grandchildren, he's got a book called Rumi for Kids, and it's an introduction to poetry and wise quotations specially designed for children. So it's a lovely little book to give as a present to younger people or children. And that links to that will be in the newsletter and in the blog posts. And that's really it for me. I don't have any other interesting tidbits this week. What with clearing broken trees, I've had a fairly busy week. So back to you, Kathleen.
Well, Peter, today, what I'd like to talk to you is about fasting. And I know that you practice this as well.
I do. I do.
And you fast, I think, 1 day a week. Is that how it works?
I do 24-hour overnight fast from I have supper one night and I have nothing to eat until supper the following day. No solids. I have liquid, but no solids for 20.
Right.
And then I do the intermittent fasting that I go between 13 and 14 hours every night with no solid food.
Right.
That's my system.
And I do intermittent fasting. And what I do is I stop eating around 6:30 at night. And then my next meal is around 11:30 or noon the following day. So it seems to work well for me.
Hmm.
But there are some benefits to it. So let me get into this article, which
Yeah,
we'll
what's
put a link to in this video. So they say that fasting boosts cancer fighting ability of natural killer cells, according to a study. And it can program certain immunity cells in the body to fight cancer better and improve the cell's ability to survive in a tumor environment. So the study looked at how fasting affected natural killer cells, or NK cells, a type of white blood cell capable of killing damaged or abnormal cells like cancer, and those infected by a virus. The presence of a high number of killer cells within a tumor is usually seen as beneficial for a cancer patient. So
Mhm.
researchers found that fasting can reprogram the metabolism of natural killer cells, improving their ability to fight cancer and enabling the cells to survive in the harsh environment within and around the tumors. Fasting was also observed to have redistributed the NK cells in the body. Some of the cells traveled into the bone marrow, getting exposed to high levels of signaling protein. This led
Mhm.
to the natural killer cells producing more interferon gamma, a type of protein that plays a key role actually, in the body's anti-tumor response. So they go on to say that while the study found positive links between fasting and fighting cancer, the safety of the process should only be determined on a case-by-case basis, simply because everyone is different, and of course,
Sure.
everyone is. So they're saying that malnutrition is one of the risks of fasting while
Hmm.
undergoing cancer treatment. A lack of proper nutrition or nutrients can result in weight loss, slow down the healing process, and worsen fatigue. It can also add more stress during what is already a very tense period for the individual. So, by all means, if you're interested in intermittent fasting, you should consult your physician. So that's what I'm going to say about that. But it's an interesting study, right, Peter? I mean,
Very much so. And certainly my experience has been that I have definitely lost weight since I've been doing this.
mhm.
I feel good, and I'm walking. I walk 5 mornings a week very briskly, and I'm walking at the same speed as I was 5, 6 years ago. So
Mhm.
I'm maintaining. I think I'm maintaining my fitness, and I feel a lot better for not carrying that extra weight around. Most definitely.
And you know what? I think a lot of people get in the habit of snacking in the evenings, because
Sure.
that's the time you're usually watching maybe a little bit of television or a little downtime, and you're just, you run for the potato chips or the popcorn, and so to really get into the habit of stopping all of that
Yep.
makes a huge difference. I found
Oh
that.
yeah. You know, another little thing that made a big difference to me,
Mhm.
even though I was fasting as I've just described, I was still eating a few cookies each day, a couple with coffee in mid-morning, a couple with tea mid-afternoon,
Right.
and maybe one immediately after supper before I stopped eating solid. So now I don't eat any cookies and very little bread. And if I'm feeling hungry during the day, I eat some nuts, peanuts or nut mix, and just a few nuts, and that's my snack instead of cookies and bread.
Right. Wow. Well
Yeah.
done. Well done. And today I would like to also give a plug to another one of Dr. Morse's wonderful products, and this is called the Ultimate Salve. As you can see, my bottle is almost empty. I'm going to have to place another order for this stuff. I'm telling you, Peter, this is just an amazing salve. If you have any wounds on your scrapes, cuts, anything whatsoever on your skin, this ultimate salve will do the trick. They
Wow.
describe it as a synergistic blend of high quality organic nourishing oils and top quality herbs. This salve blows away the competition when it comes to strength and the quality. You can see a difference. This ultimate salve is a deep green, showing the strongest herb to oil
Hmm.
concentration possible. And some of the key ingredients in this is golden seal root, burdock leaf, aloe vera resin, cat's claw bark, and astrag, I knew I was gonna astragalus root. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly, but there you go. These
Is that anything like asparagus root?
no, no, it's different. Anyways, it's really for skin health. It soothes skin irritation, expedites wound healing as well. So that's my bit. And any last thoughts, Peter?
I think is of interest to our audience in Canada, especially. I'm going to be speaking at a public meeting tonight because our little city of Woodstock has doubled its population in the 20 years I've been living near it, and they're trying to grab another 1,000 acres of very, very prime productive farmland for industrial expansion. So the farmers are totally opposed to that. The city's already grabbed thousands of acres to the north and east of the city. So a group of farmers have asked me to speak at this public meeting to voice opposition to this land grab for industrial expansion. We're in the situation where our province can no longer produce enough feed to feed itself, and I think that's a tragedy. So a few of us are speaking out. So I'm going to have a bit of
Good.
fun tonight. That's me.
Well,
Um,
good luck with
and
that,
it
Peter.
Thank you. And it's important because it's
It is.
affecting a lot of places in Europe and North America. This is attacks on farms, and soon we won't be able to feed ourselves. Anyway, we will see. And a last message for me, we've had some really good guests on the show, as you've heard. We've got a lot of very interesting guests coming up. So if you don't want to miss out, hop onto the website, yakkingshow.com, and sign up for our weekly newsletter. We'll just send you one email a week, tell you what's going on. That's it from me. Have a good week, everyone. Thanks, Kathleen.
And again, once again, thank you for tuning in to our show. We so appreciate having you. And until next time, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.